What it do, man? It's your boy 100, and we back in this. We back in this. You know what I'm saying? And as you can see, we finna watch Akademiks. He's on the Flagrant 2 podcast, which is Andrew Schultz and Akash. And we're gonna hear their opinion about the Rory and Maul podcast. If you didn't know, Joe Budden had a podcast. He had two co-hosts. Them two co-hosts had some beef. They left and started their own podcast. And Joe Budden got two new co-hosts. I have not watched one episode of the Rory and Maul podcast, and I also have kind of fallen off on Joe Budden podcast as well. But it's not because of this. It's just I don't have the time right now. I used to have the time. I used to listen to podcasts all the time, but right now I be doing like other stuff where I can't be listening to stuff the whole time. If you get it. Anyway.
Yo, with a mic on, I don't think them dudes could fuck with me any day of the week, any second of the day. Like, bro, them dudes, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I used to listen to Joe's podcast. I used to tell myself, bro, every time, I'm like, could you have them clowns stop chiming in when you're spitting game?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you spit game. I know you don't really fuck with them, but you spitting game. Tell them clowns to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Them dudes is getting $40,000 a year, man. Shut up. Nobody want to hear you talk about like you're really breaking down the break. Shut up. You know what I mean? Shut the fuck up. Like Joe could talk about it. Now
hey, Akademiks don't like them. He been not liking them. So I understand why he got this energy for them.
It would make more sense because he was swindling them bum ass niggas. That's sure. They thought it was cool.
Swindling.
Yo, Alex, man, I hope you charge them bum ass niggas twice, like double the rate. They're dumb as shit. I'm telling you, gotta do it, bro. You gotta do it. Yo,
do you think Joe felt guilty when they would defend him swindling them? Like, do you think there's ever a part of him on the podcast when he was like, man, I got these motherfuckers wrapped around my pinky, bro?
I'm gonna be honest, I still think he probably feels this way, and I feel this way too.
Yeah.
Like, are you really robbing somebody? Like, all right, you guys do Flagrant 2, and the primary host is Kosh, you right?
Yeah. Everybody has a piece of this podcast.
Okay,
yeah.
But here's the thing. If you thought, man, I'm carrying these niggas. Like, LeBron, or like, remember that horrible Cavs team he brought to like the finals?
Yeah.
Eric Snow.
07.
Yeah.
Bro, had, like,
Gibson.
Bro, had like water boys on it. Like, shit was crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, if you feel you carrying these dudes, you're probably looking at them like, you should be working at Walmart.
Right.
Like, bro, I'm over it. So when I'm hearing Joe talk about it, he's like, yo, they're getting paid like $100,000. These dudes are bums. That's what he's thinking. Like, he's not thinking like, we created this. I think maybe his audience is probably trying to show him like, no, it's not just you. We actually did like them.
Well, if we're being honest, doesn't that mean that they like them and that they resonate with them? Like, if we're going to give Rory Maul all the credit they deserve, if people are going and listening to their podcast, how about this? If 6 months from now people are still listening at these numbers, you got to say, all right, you got something. Maybe you don't understand it.
I'll also say this.
Some people do.
When you say they can't, they're not as good as me.
That's fair.
Yeah, and for you to say, to that point, for you to say they're not as good as me, you're incredible at this. Like, I'm already seeing, like, you can carry shit on your own in a way not a lot of people can. So to say there's no way they're as good as me, cool, but you're a top whatever, 0.1%. So they can still be good and not be as good as you.
All right. As Andrew said, you want me to be logical or you just want me to
emotional? We do a thing here called feelings, no facts.
All right. Hit it.
Okay?
No. Honestly, I'm gonna be logical with this one.
All right, bet.
I actually like they do have their worth in. I do think the audience loves all three of them together, but
they had good chemistry.
Yeah, but I still think, and this is one of the reasons why in 2017 when I got on Everyday Struggle.
Yeah.
Like, I was doing my YouTube thing and, I felt I was really good on that, platform, but I'd never really been on camera. Mm-hmm. I never really
You were awkward at first.
And that's what I'm
saying.
You
learned how to be good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I looked at that and Joe was a fucking pro from day one.
Yeah.
He was a pro. And what I was even thinking about these dudes is like, you don't, as much of an asshole he is, you don't know the benefit and the luxury you have working with someone. Like when you work with Charlamagne very early on, when someone could do some heavy lifting and do some things that maybe you're not there yet with.
I'm not here without Charlamagne, and I don't mean that in terms of like the access to people. I mean that in terms of the access to skill.
Yeah.
It's like motherfuckers that play in Europe and then they come to the NBA. You learn how to play basketball in the NBA.
I remember this.
There's a reason.
I feel him, bro. Like, I feel him, dog. Like, Joe Budden was really carrying that podcast. I can't say he wasn't. Joe Budden was carrying that podcast. Rory and Mal were kind of like seasoning. Like, if Joe Budden is the steak, they're seasoning the steak. You know what I'm saying? They add a little, hey. Now the seasoning done left and started their own podcast with just seasoning. But maybe they got the potential to turn into, you know, some real deal, like hold our own type. You know what I'm saying? Which they doing numbers. They doing numbers now. They are doing numbers. I haven't tuned in though. I watched like half of the one where Earl Sweatshirt was on it, but I kind of was watching it because of Earl Sweatshirt, and like the first 10 minutes I didn't hear him say like nothing, so I turned it off. But yeah, I feel what he's saying. Like, if you're doing the show, somebody is gonna be, or two people is gonna be like, okay, this is like the attraction. This is who people come in to see, and other people are just like pieces that like help the show. You know what I'm saying? Not like caring.
The reason why Luka Doncic goes back to Slovenia and that team makes the Olympics for the first time, I think, in their country's history, is because Luka's been playing in the NBA.
Charlemagne says I'm a professional talker, and that motherfucker is so good at talking.
Yeah. And you got to rise your shit to that. And I wasn't even close when we first started. It was something I got to get better at every single time and see how good he was and try to pick up a little bit of that every single time. Yeah, no, I hear you.
And that's what I'm saying. Well, it's a sink or swim moment, but you can't evaluate off of the first 6 months. They have to show if they could end up being what you are.
I'll say this. This is what I'll give them credit. So what I admire about them is a lot of people wouldn't take that chance. They took the chance to fail.
Yeah.
And if I'm being honest, well, no, a lot of people would go, all right, let me try to get another job. Let me do some A&R shit. Let me do something else in music. Maybe there's opportunities they could have got. And this way, they couldn't fail in front of all the people, right, that are looking at them going,
hey, man, they liquored up. They haven't. I got to get myself together, dog. I gotta build me up a little stable or something.
And you carry a show. Now, they said, fuck it, we're going to go do it. We're going to prove that we
have
were
a wedding?
A valuable asset to Joe's podcast. And in 6 months or a year, we'll see if they are. But I admire them taking a chance. A lot of motherfuckers don't take the chance. They sit on the sidelines. They bitch, they complain, they whine. They don't do shit. They did shit. I admire that.
Mm-hmm. It's not even hate. It's actually a little bit of hate, a lot of logic.
All right.
Joe Budden, or Joe Budden as I might call him, he has a podcast network, correct?
Mm-hmm. Kinda.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
you never help him with YouTube, bro? Like,
all right, hold on. Before we get there,
who's the idiot running his shit?
Hold on. Before we get there,
you know the internet.
Hold on. Before we get there,
using his shit like.
Before we get there.
Son, if Rory or Mal got a bad deal, think how bad the deal on the Joe Budden network is.
No, hold on. Wait. No.
Son,
think about this, though.
You getting Spotify'd out that bitch.
And this is why I realize people are blinded by their need to have sympathy for these dudes more than actually being objective.
Right.
Y'all was on Joe Budden podcast for 4 years. Why y'all never did nothing on the side?
You brought up a great point.
Why y'all never did? Why y'all never did this before? Why y'all never did skits? Y'all doing skits? Did Joe have y'all really locked in the basement?
Right.
Really victimizing y'all? Like,
as soon as they got out of there where they doing skits, bro, they got all kind of setups and trailers. Like, bro, why y'all never try to do nothing beforehand? Like, even Rory went on a different show on Joe Budden's network and said he don't even have a passion for podcasting. He just passionate about the Joe Budden podcast. He's not passionate about podcasting at all. Like, what? That's weird to say on a show that's on under his network. It's just weird to say.
Like this was like the R. Kelly show where like apparently Kelly got people that they got to look at the walls like y'all couldn't do anything. I always thought they had some type of deal where they couldn't do anything else because I've been inviting myself. Y'all want to have a conversation? We could get on a platform. You could even be y'all shit, but no Joe. Get Joe out of it. I don't want your daddy here. Okay?
Yeah.
And they never did it. Now they're forced to sink or swim. Everybody's giving them the credit, saying, "Oh my God, they had to do it." Why didn't they do it before?
They didn't have to, though. They didn't have to.
And what would they be doing?
They didn't have to. And I'll be honest,
bro, it's not this. They'll go back to them unemployment.
They could have sunk. You got to give them credit. They're swimming.
But
listen,
they're swimming because of the disappointment off Joe.
But they're trying to swim. Yo, just because it happened out of desperation doesn't mean it doesn't count.
I also have another point where it's like, if they truly felt like they were partners in this thing and they want to give their everything to it because they truly felt they're partners, I'm not mad at that at all. Like, I think that that's admirable. Everybody's sacrificing their personal desires to build the bands, right? Like, you look at that band Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody, that song, that kind of shit. It's like that one, the lead singer of Queen, he got the deal to go do the album by himself. And then when he was writing the album by himself, he was like, man, this shit ain't as fun. I like being with the boys. Right. And yeah, I'm the fucking lead singer, but it's more fun, the thing that we built with the boys. So if you want to put everything into that, I don't knock you for that. I understand where you're coming from in terms of leverage. But if you truly believe that you're a family...
Andrew, I'm surprised you're even making this point just because of this. Being someone that I've seen you do a million skits. This is outside of Brilliant Idiots.
Yeah, 100%.
Do a million skits. I've seen you do so many shit on YouTube, on other shows.
Yeah.
I seen you go to it wasn't even MTV with some other shit. It was Oxy. I don't know what. You was on some shit.
Music choice. That shit was, yeah.
So, but I've seen you do so much. I've always thought of it like this. And I'm pretty sure you thought of it like this.
Yeah.
I'm going to do things outside of this, hopefully to bring it back to the squad.
100%.
And when you look at it, bro, them dudes are just showing up to a job. They never ever try to promote it outside of that. They weren't hustling and...
Their dynamic was weird. It was like... It seemed like y'all don't care about the show, bro. It really seemed like y'all don't care, dog. Like, honestly. Rory and Mal, it seemed like they did not care about that show. Dang, I meant the trash can. Seemed like they didn't care. Like, they showed up, they gave minimal effort, they had little to say, they had no opinions. Oh, I don't know, I can't say. I mean, I see both sides. Like, have an opinion. Say something. Like, say something. You feel me? It was just like, they were just like some bookends, bro.
Trying to make the Joe Budden podcast bigger. When there was a press run needed to make it for Spotify, Joe had to do it. Joe had to do all the legwork. Of course, I'm gonna look at you like a worker when I'm the only one doing all these extra shit.
Yeah.
Is that not fair? Y'all tell me that.
No. I think it's a reasonable argument.
Alex, come on now. I know you getting paid, but come on, brother.
I'm saying it's a reasonable argument, but I don't know what they were doing behind the scenes. Like, they have stuff going on outside of just the podcast. So you can't say that they're not doing anything. They just not doing stuff in front of the camera.
That show?
I'm just saying, by them growing their awareness, like, and their public persona, it also brings eyes to the show.
But he's saying they weren't doing anything to grow that.
They never did that.
I mean,
they all have something they did. I'll be like, yo,
decent followings there. Like,
here's the thing: there's two ways to go about it. One way is use the opportunity you have and then deliver the best content, the best material. Like, I remember when Brilliant Idiots was the only thing I had, right? I'm researching. I'm getting ready to have my fucking argument. I'm looking at all these videos. I'm reading. I'm making sure that I can be the best that I could be. 90% of shit we didn't even touch. But just in case we touched it, I want to be ready to go.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Flagrant 2. Subscribe to Flagrant 2 clips. And subscribe to Flagrant 2, the actual page. With the whole actual show. I think it's like 4 hours. I think they talk for 4 hours. 4 hours and 45 minutes. Jesus. They was talking, boy. But yeah, man. I don't know if Rory and Mal is gonna succeed, but it's good to see that they're doing it. It's good to see that they're actually using their voice and like leading conversations and leading topics and bringing on guests, and they're doing everything that they want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because on Joe Budden's Joe Budden podcast, it seemed like they couldn't do what they wanted to do. They just had to do what Joe wanted to do. And they didn't seem enthused. They didn't seem enthused at all. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, shout out to them. Subscribe to everybody. Subscribe to Rory and Mal, Joe Budden, Flagrant 2, Brilliant Idiots, Akademiks, everybody. Subscribe to everybody. Show everybody some love. You know what I'm saying? Everybody out here in this content space trying to get theirs. You feel me? But yeah, man, if you like the video, leave a like for your boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need them likes. You know what I'm saying? To grow my audience, I appreciate you for the likes. Leave a comment. Let me know how you feel about this whole conversation we just had. How you feel about Rory and Mal, Joe Budden, Akademiks, Flagrant 2, all of that. You know what I'm saying? And subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.